Spread good, baby.
Remember when we had like 4 or 5 episodes?
Yeah. We didn't have any of this.
Yeah, we didn't have sponsors.
had a
We
table.
didn't have even furniture. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, we've come a long way in 6 months.
It's a floor.
Yeah.
We were just sitting on the floor.
Yeah, literally. So anyways, what is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 37 of the Spread Good podcast. My name is Brodi Nicholas. Back at it with my boy, Mr. Celebrate Life. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Celebrating life with some acid rain and with our guest here.
Yes, today we have chiropractor Donovan Smolich with us today. If you have not binge watched his videos yet, you are missing out. What's up, man?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Good.
Of course, dude.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's we were just talking about how it's nice to be chilly in LA. We can actually wear these sweaters, wear this jacket.
Feels good.
I'm freezing.
And I'm actually cold. My hands are frozen.
Is this cold for you? Not really.
I mean, I love cold. I love to freeze and be
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Okay. Because it's really cold in Seattle this time of year,
Yeah.
right?
You get to wear all your coats. I
Yeah.
came here, I had no clothes to wear. Like, this is my whole outfit. I was
Nice.
Works out. But yeah, I mean, let's start there, man. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you're from, which is obviously Seattle.
Okay. Well, I'm from Seattle, and do you want me to tell you guys about, like, how I started in Seattle, or?
Yeah, or just like, were you born in Seattle?
Yeah, I was born in Seattle.
Okay, cool.
And I don't even know where to start. Like,
Yeah, so
How was your childhood?
Yeah, how was your childhood?
Oh, you don't want to know. I'm just kidding.
Because we see where you are on social media today, but we like to dig in and have our viewers learn about like who you were.
Yeah.
Like, what would your aunt say 10-year-old Donovan was like?
So when I was growing up, I didn't even talk at all until I was like 18. Like, I didn't speak. So everyone thought there was something wrong with me. And so I was talking to myself when I was younger. I was like, oh my God, if I don't talk, I'm not going to change my life. So I was like trying to talk, and I had like high anxiety, and I was like hiding from everybody. So my wish was like, I really wanted to know how to talk, and so I can control my life. And then as I got into high school when I was 14, I was like, if I don't talk right now, I'm never going to talk ever again. So I was like, I'm going to say just, hey, how's it going? And that's it, and not expect anything after that. So I was saying hi to everybody, hi, no personality. And then someone finally was like, what's up? And I was like, oh crap, I didn't know I was gonna make it this far. And then I started learning how to like talk. And I spoke English. I just had like this anxiety from like something from the traumatic from the past probably. And then when I discovered breakdancing, that's when I started getting more comfortable around people. So when I started like winning like basic beginner like battles, people were coming up to me and I didn't even know what to say, and they're like, oh my God, you're so cool. And I wasn't that good back then, but but it made me learn how to talk, and then it kind of guided me to being who I was, and it built my confidence. And then breakdancing also transitioned me into like chiropractic, what I do right now, and I still breakdance.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool story.
So when you say you didn't talk, did you just not talk around strangers or other people, or was it around everyone?
I only talked around my best friend, and then in my family, of course. But I was also still quiet around like different family members or whatever. But my friend would be like, Donovan talks all the time. Like I'm his imaginary like creature behind him. They're like, what are you talking about? He's like translating.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you don't know why?
I mean, it probably was when I was growing up as a little kid. Maybe there was this too much like craziness around me, and it was making me like scared, and I couldn't talk, and I didn't want to say the wrong thing, and like get a response back that like, okay, calm down. Like I kind of understand. I think it was something from the past that was like making me like scared to say what I wanted to really say. So I had to really change my brain as I got older, and then this whole adventure started happening after that.
Very cool. And look, now you're talking on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh my God, I'm talking right now? I wasn't even going to talk. I was kidding.
That's very
You were just
cool.
gonna break dance.
Right?
Yeah.
What got you into breakdancing?
So like all my cousins, Filipino, they all do dancing, singing, basketball. What else do they do? But
That's what we all do.
but I was like, man, like they all are so good at dancing. And then and every breakdancer can relate to this, or b-boy. a lot of them got motivated because E-Bombs World. Ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that famous like breakdancer named Junior had a polio. He was like doing the craziest moves. Like, oh my god, this is so edited and fake. But then even if I knew it was fake or not, even though it wasn't, I said I want to do that because I'm like this blank slate. Like I don't talk. No one even notices me. I said I want to be able to do what he can do to prove that I can do something cool. And then so I'd practice all the time to do stuff like that. And then I ended up getting really good at it. And then people started appreciating me for it because I didn't talk. So I talked through dance.
Nice.
Wow.
It's like, don't talk to me. Just look at me. That's good.
You don't have to talk. You just
Yeah.
show off your dance moves. It's pretty
Yeah.
dope. It's pretty dope.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. That is so cool that you use dance as your voice.
Yeah, I did it for years. And then I had to really
Then
learn
you
how
had
to
to learn
talk.
to really talk. And then so how did that lead into chiropractics?
So I was practicing so hard and I wanted to be good so bad. I was jumping on my head. There's no tutorials on YouTube, so people are killing themselves back then. And at midnight, I jumped into a handstand, and my body was so worn out that it bent in half, like backwards, and I paralyzed myself like this. And I was on the floor shaking from like midnight till 10 a.m. And then I was on the floor, the worst pain of my life. My dad finds me on the floor. He's like, "What the heck?" And then he like carried me to his friend who was a chiropractor. And he's like, "Do something to him." And it was like a private visit. And then my dad's like this giant bodybuilder guy. He's like, "Do something to him already." And then the chiropractor adjusted my neck and I was walking again. I was limping out. And I didn't even know what he was doing to me the whole time. I was just like, okay, I feel better. And then I just kept going to him all the time to make sure I was healing because I hurt myself all the time. And then he'd always try to teach me what chiropractic was. And I'm stubborn. And I'm like, yeah, just crack me. And I didn't even know cracking was, I just felt good. I didn't even know like he was a doctor or anything, but he actually was like the smartest guy I knew and the most stand-up guy I ever met in my life. And gradually over time, when he healed me, I was going to him for years and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I wanted to teach people, but also heal people, but I had no qualifications. So I was teaching people how to breakdance, I was teaching them martial arts. I was just trying to motivate people to be happy, basically. And then he's like, what would be even better that you can make an impact if you do what I'm doing, chiropractic. I'm like, crack people? I don't know if that's going to make an impact, even though you changed my life. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, right?
So over time, he's like, think about it. And he would tell me for every 4 months to remind me that this is for me. And he sensed it in me. And then he gave me a book on what chiropractic was. And it actually had to do with your brain healing your body through your spine, through the nerves and everything. And I was like, I've never even heard about a spine and nerves my whole life. I'm actually don't even want to learn anything. So he's telling me that it actually has to do with healing within. And I was like, it does? That's insane. And then I read more about it. And then I was like, I think I'm going to do this. And also I was going through a hard time in Seattle. I was like getting depressed because I had no purpose. And I was like a slave at a job at the gym I didn't really like. And I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta change my life. But I wanna help people, but I don't have the confidence to do it. So when he was telling me that discovery, I was like, I think I'm gonna do this. And then I got all the credits, like the science credits, and I moved to the Bay Area out of nowhere, not even prepared. And then I just went for it. And then I had all this bad luck right when I went there. I just wanted to leave so bad to change my life, basically. And that led to me being homeless in a car.
Oh, wow.
It was like the worst luck ever. And then the school was threatening to kick me out and send me back. And I was like, I can't do this. I got to figure out how to go through the program and be homeless and change my life at the same time. And then that's what that was the catalyst to being very motivated to like make an impact after that, because I was so stressed out, basically.
Wow, that's huge. And so how did you get yourself out of that? You just like lived in your car and just hustled and did whatever to make it out there?
So when I first went out there, I actually had a place arranged for me for 3 months. Filipino, you trust Filipino, and then and then out of nowhere, when I'm about to move in there, this lady goes, "Hey, you guys should." I was hanging out with my friends. Like, you guys should go out one more night and then come back and I'm like go party. She's like this party mom. I was like, okay, sure. So we leave, and I come back. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to move in. And then she goes, oh, I gave away your room. And I'm like, what? And I was like completely shocked. And then so the backup plan was like try to find a place to live. And then all of a sudden someone was using my credit. So my credit score was in the drain. I didn't even know what credit was at that time.
Wow.
I was like, what's credit? And my friend's like, are you serious? You're just like in the zero. And I was like, oh my God. So like I walked to every open house because at the time I didn't have a car. And I got denied at every single place. And I was like, someone just let me live somewhere. And then later my friend was like also trying to make his dreams come true over there. And he's like, I got an idea. How about you just live in the car? And I was like, are you insane? And I used to be sheltered. So I'm just like freaking out. And then he's like, don't worry, I got a place for you. Actually, first he goes, let's stay at my boss's apartment. He's gone. And so he has the key to his boss's apartment. So we go in there in the city. And then we're in our boxers like, wow, thank God you saved me. And then the lights turn on. It says Indian boss. He's like, what are you doing in my apartment? I was like,
oh my gosh.
we're about to leave. And then my friend goes, I was like, dude, I thought you said he was gone. And my friend goes, I thought he was too. Okay, I got a backup plan. So he walks me to a public restroom at like 1 a.m. I'm like, I'm not sleeping in here. And he's like, we have to. And then so like we get yoga mats and then we put it next to a toilet. I have like photos and stuff. But
That's crazy.
and we sleep next to the toilet. I'm like, all right, let's go to sleep. And then there's some security bang. He's like, open the door, get out of here. You're not allowed to sleep in here. So the guy's banging on there for like 30 minutes. And I'm like freaking out. And I'm like, I have school tomorrow. And then we wake up at 4 a.m. I was like, let's just get out of here. And then I go to school. And so every day my friend would try to find me a place to sleep in. So we sleep in storage units. We sleep everywhere. And then the best place to sleep was he had a broken down car in a dark alley in the city. So he's like, let's sleep in here. And then I was like, oh my God, let's do it. And then it was like a Miata with 2 seats. And there's like a homeless guy left some presents in there. And we had to wipe it with baby wipes. And then we just go to sleep in there. And then I just slept in there for like 6 months until I finally found a place. And we got a garage after 6 months. So everyone thought I was crazy at the school. So no one talked to me for over a year because I was like, didn't take a shower. I was in fight or flight. I was like freaking out. And then I get out of my home sometimes. Sometimes I get the park in from the school because we have to share that car. And then I'm like, time to go to school. And everyone's like, oh God, it's that homeless dude. Yeah.
But you made it happen.
Yeah. And I lost my ability to talk again after that happened because no one was talking to me. So it was like a wild experience that motivated me to change my life and everyone else's life. And that's when I discovered the journal and I started writing I was manifesting in it and I wrote exactly how I wanted my life and everything came true later. And then that's how I started doing what I'm doing right now. It was because I was homeless because I didn't want to be that feeling ever again. And that's how everything started. I know it's a long story, but.
Dude, that's huge. Thank you for sharing.
Crazy story.
Yeah, I mean, I think manifesting is so real and writing things
Yeah.
down and seeing them come to life. It's one of the best feelings ever.
Yeah.
So you've come a long way. How long ago was that?
That was 9 or 10 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was a completely different person. Kind of similar, but actually I'm the same person. I'm just kidding.
Man,
crazy
what a
back
journey. What a journey.
Yeah.
So that led you to the Bay Area. Then you went back to Seattle for a bit.
Yeah,
And
so
did you start a...
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not gonna work under anybody. I'm gonna make an impact right away, right when I get out of here. So I focused on teaching myself how to run a business, how to market, how to make an impact. So in the Bay Area, I was practicing with social media, and I had such a small following, but I would meet up people from the hashtags. It was old school style, and then they're like, hey, you want to do a workout video? Hey, you want to do a workout video? Like, I was trying to be friends with everybody in the Bay, and that was my practice to make an impact. So I would help people all over the Bay, one at a time, get 1 follower at a time. I was like, wow, 100 followers, that's actually a lot of people I met.
Yeah.
And then I would help everybody all over the Bay, and then that's how I practiced building community from scratch with social media. And then later, it all blew up together when I went back to Seattle to open up my first office, which was in a little kid's room. It was really ghetto. Call me the ghetto chiropractor back then.
Nice.
I didn't want it as my username, though.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and then so what made you leave Seattle from there?
So I wrote in my journal, I was like, I'm going to make an impact in Seattle in like 3 months when I get there. And it was like the most far-fetched thing. And I was like, people are going to fly to me, and I'm going to make such an impact on every single person that talks to me. I was writing every single detail that I wanted. And then when I moved there and I was working in a kid's room, I got kicked out of the kids' room because it was in the because of some situations. And then there's a lot of drama back then. I was, I was like, geez, the universe is helping me, but also trying to teach me something at the same time. And then I moved in the corner of a tax office at my mom's friend's. She's a Filipino lady. She's my aunt now.
Okay.
And it was like in a corner of a tax office. I was working inside. There were always people like walking through, and then I built a community in there, and it became a very famous tax office. So everyone started flying to that tax office, and was like, no way. And so every time someone came, I was like, I know you're thinking it doesn't look that cool in here, because like they think I'm like this cool guy online or something. And then the tax office got famous, and then I ended up building a completely new office like nearby, and then it blew up online, and then I did make an impact in Seattle. So everybody was referring people like crazy in Seattle. So I was like, wow, I really made an impact here. And then that's when people started asking me, you need to fly to LA, you need to fly to New York. So I started like, I'm just gonna do LA. So I started doing like group adjustments all over LA. And that's how I met Debbie out there too. We just around the street.
Wow, small world.
Yeah, and then when you start manifesting, you have this sense, and you can see a vision. When you see the vision, you already know what's going to happen. It's like you can see the future. So when you have a vision that is perfect and you're manifesting like crazy, you already know what you're supposed to do. So my brain was telling me like, I have to move to LA and make an impact, or else I won't grow and change my life and make an impact. So that's what drew me to LA, and then it even blew up even more out here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
huge, man.
Yeah, I mean, going through all the things that you've gone through, I'm sure moving to LA, you weren't scared. You weren't, like you said, you already manifested it. You already knew what was going to happen. So you weren't as scared as someone who wasn't manifesting would be, right?
Yeah, well, like I had confidence, because when you're manifesting, you're like, I already know good things are going to happen. But when I first moved here, I was pretty like, oh my God, I'm not used to actually being here. Even though I lived in the Bay Area or Seattle, I actually completely didn't know anybody out here. Like I only knew like 2 people, and I didn't even know the Seattle people yet. So, but the problem was I had to build an office from scratch, and that was one of my goals. I was like, I built that one from scratch, but LA is way different than Seattle, because Seattle, I have family and friends. So like there's people to start with. LA, none. So I was like, I'm gonna prove to myself that I can make a place from scratch and build a community, and that's gonna change my life and guide me into something bigger, and I wanna surprise myself. So I built it from scratch, but the thing was I had to go out in the community every day and like, get my name out here, and that was my challenge that the universe gave me, basically. So it's basically like, if you wanna level up, you gotta start over and prove yourself that you can do it without really knowing anyone out here. So that's what really blew my mind from being out here. That's why I like it much better than Seattle. Like I was like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
So you just went out and met people and told people about what you do?
Yeah. So and social media was easier, but I had more of a community in Seattle and Bay Area on my social media. So on social media, it was a great way to like message people, but it was a combination of like, everywhere I went, I was talking to somebody and giving them my energy, because people are attracted to good energy when you give it to them. If you guys resonate, basically. So I gave out the same energy everywhere. But I was in fight or flight, though, because I was like, I don't know anybody. And then social media, I started attracting different people. But you know what's crazy? I'm like, I'll talk about the universe. But when I first came here, I was attracting the wrong energy, actually. And I was supposed to make me realize I think that was supposed to like teach me something, but I was attracting like really weird, negative people. Even influencers that I met were off. And then I was just like, I'm so positive about LA still, but I was just like, oh my God, I'm attracting the weirdest energy in the beginning of when I first came here. And then later, as I started like developing as a person, I started attracting the most amazing energy. So I've been attracting like so many people I thought I would never meet. that came to me. So it's kind of a weird thing when you're trying to go towards your goals and your dreams. You start off with a certain type of struggle, and then it transforms into this huge thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's a great point, because how did you deal with that when you're out here trying to meet everybody, trying to build a business, and then you're attracting the wrong people?
Yeah.
How do you transition out of that? Because you kind of need them still to build your business, but you know those aren't the right people you want to spend your quality time and give your energy to.
Yeah.
So yeah, how did you handle that?
So the mindset, you have to know that you're going to attract what you want, especially when you keep writing it down. So when you start off with that bad energy, you have to take it as like a gift and a learning experience. And then your subconscious kind of guides you to collecting all those people that have great energy. So that's when I started, because when you'll eventually finally meet this high quality person, you're like, wow, I want to replicate that type of person every single time. So over time, you end up subconsciously going out in the community and talking to different types of people and understanding what kind of people you want to be around. Like you'd think when you did good in another city, you'd already know what kind of people you want to be around. But I had to meet like people from online or people that traveled from different places. Like I started meeting people from like different types of different actors and actresses from different TV shows. I didn't even know who they were, because you don't know all the famous people. But when you start meeting them, and then you gradually start attracting them, you start all of a sudden just start attracting more people like that. And then you start getting high energy and you start attracting it. It doesn't really make any sense, but when your energy changes, you just start attracting it, if that makes sense. I know, it's confusing.
I always, say whatever you put out is what you
get,
you know?
So the energy started changing. I started attracting way more people, but it always starts with like, you gotta like get the right connections so you can meet the right people, basically.
No, I love that. Just building real friendships.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we've talked about a lot, is like when you build a real, like people call it a network or whatever it is, but like just a friend base.
Yeah.
And you surround yourself around good energy, it keeps
Exactly.
replicating itself. So.
Yep, and that's happened here. We've had so much dope energy with all the people that we met through this podcast, and we're getting more dope people every day. So it's really cool. But can we talk a little bit about chiropractic? What is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
So chiropractic, it's because there's all these different health practices. Like we're used to medication and surgery, and massage is great too. That's a natural approach. But chiropractic, it's all about making your body heal naturally from within, because we heal really fast within our bodies. You just have to understand how it heals. And a good way for you guys to understand is that we have our brain up here, and it communicates through nerves through the spine, and it attaches to all the organs, muscles, and tissue. So your brain is constantly recovering your body. But what happens is when we sit down a lot like this, or we get into a car accident, or all these traumas, our body collects over time, and we get misaligned, and we get all these things that interfere with our body to heal properly. So what happens is you get like pressure on these nerves, and you get scar tissue buildup. Like when you get a whiplash, you automatically get scar tissue buildup, and it glues everything together. So the chiropractor's job is to analyze the spine and adjust what's interfering with the body from healing. So it's just like a car. When your car gets worn out, you need an oil change. Your car gives you symptoms to warn you. Your brain gives you symptoms to warn you that this car is breaking down. So the symptoms would be like pain, headaches, discomfort. Your muscles don't work as well, and so the car is breaking down. So when you get adjusted, you're actually remodeling scar tissue, and you're making energy go back to the brain from the spinal cord. So it's allowing the body to heal by itself. That's what chiropractic really is all about. And I need to give you guys an adjustment so you guys can feel what's going on. You're like, really?
Because right now my back is.
Yeah, I know you're like going like this.
I know, that's why I'm like super self-conscious right now. I'm like, oh, that's me.
So I've never done that.
It's getting rid of interference in the body so you can actually heal. That's why people heal really fast when they get chiropractic.
Yeah, my wife goes to a chiropractor. We have 3 kids, 3 babies, so her back is always hurting. She always goes to a chiropractor, but I've never gone. Scared. I don't like the cracks.
I'll just you right with this mic. I'm just kidding.
which goes into my next point, though.
Yeah.
The videos you do.
Yeah.
I binge watch so many of those videos because So it started because I love watching UFC.
Yeah.
And I'll see UFC fighters going and they do the neck thing.
Yeah.
What is it called where you pull your neck?
There's a Y strap or the spinal decompression.
Yeah. And then I just got into it from there. And then obviously videos like yours and others, I'm really into all the cracks. But do you get a lot of like ASMR fans?
Yeah, they always tell me, they're like, oh man, I'm like so scared to get adjusted, but I just listen to it. I'm like, because they're imagining themselves getting relief from the videos. Like after doing this for so long, everyone just tells me like they just binge watch and listen to the cracks to like get relief in their bodies. Like
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I crack my back literally like every 20 minutes. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Should I have that many crackles? Is that
like the crack sound is basically just nitrogen gas and build up inside the joints and just flies out like when you crack your knuckles. But it just flies out, and that's like not really what the main thing about the adjustment is. When you crack yourself, it's actually not that good in my opinion, even though the online is teaching everyone how to crack themselves.
Right.
You should actually be doing stretches and muscle releasing to get better results, because when you crack yourself too much, you're actually cracking loose joints that hold your body together. I mean, imagine your whole body's cracked. Like, what's holding it together?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Because it only feels good because you're stimulating the nerves, the neurons within the spine. That's why I feel so good. Wow, my God, I needed that. But what chiropractic really is if you can crack yourself, why would you see a chiropractor, really? Like, you should be healing yourself. But the chiropractor actually finds the joints that are so restricted and so rotated that are actually causing the symptoms. That's making your body not adapt to the environment. Because when you're misaligned and you're walking in the environment, your body actually breaks down because it's not adapting that well. So if you crack yourself too much, you actually get more restricted over time. Like, you get muscle spasms and you're just like, how come I can't fix myself, really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, that does make sense, because I feel like, the more I crack, it's like it just keeps going and going. And I'm definitely not in like heavy pain every day, but so I'm like really into fitness. So I'm like working out all the time, and I just notice my lower back, it's just like it doesn't support me the way I want it to sometimes. Like even the way I like sit down, I try to be mindful of it, right? I sit back up, but then slowly I'll come back, and there's always that tension in this lower back. So
I can tell you that in my office, I'm like a mixer. So I do chiropractic and I do a bunch of different techniques. But the whole thing about my office is about education. So I help you discover exactly what's causing the pain. Like, you might actually have an overactivated hip flexor that's causing your pelvic to tilt, and you have a really tight back right now because we're sitting down so much. See? So that's the secret.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to come in and see. No, for sure. That's literally what I've been looking for, is like answers to like just perform better. Because again, I'm just like, wow, I do have these little things.
Yeah. My back started hurting recently, but it's because I'm always changing diapers, and these kids are too much. My lower back's been hurting, but I don't crack my back. I don't do any of that. So
are you stretching at least?
I don't stretch either.
He's dying right now.
I run every day and I don't stretch, and it's not good.
On my my daily checklist, 10-minute stretch
every
day.
That's good.
Try to get in at least 10 minutes. But I'm really tight person, like really tight. And just super not patient with the stretching. So it's like trying to work on the breathing too, because I want to like get the stretches in, and then
there you go.
So one thing I've been doing, again, Instagram, I've been sitting up against the wall and putting my feet up. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Cool, because it just kind of releases and just stretches that out. But I did notice the other day, part of my daily thing is reading. And so I was like, let me just go 2 for 1. And I tried to do that while reading. My legs went numb because I was reading for like 15 minutes. So I don't know if that's good or not. But
you can do, it'd be easier for you. You should just do dynamic stretching and just swing your legs like this and like that, and then do this. Because it's so easy, you can do it anywhere you want. But if you have because your body will glue together when you go to sleep. If you do dynamic stretching, it will help like
the mobility,
like add mobility and tear things up and put fluid back in your joints, and that'll be easy for you. And then if you really understand like what you really need to work on, like you probably need to work on your psoas. Like you might not need to do a muscle release, and then work on your posture by just laying on a neck roll. I give you the easiest homework, but you can read books while you do these things I'm telling you. I make it so easy to fix yourself at home.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. This is great.
You're welcome.
Nice. I need a lot. I need a lot of fixing. My wife needs a lot of fixing. But as far as like your practice, what are there any like really funny stories that you have of people that you've helped out?
Yeah. What's the funniest? Well, I went to Spicy Fruit, Alex Wasabi and Roy, and I felt like he was saving those farts for me, but every adjustment I did, like he just farted the whole time, like the loudest ones I ever had. I was like, "What do you eat?" Like he saved those.
That's awesome.
An hour before I came by or something.
Oh, wow.
He's like, "That's a secret," but I think that was so hilarious. Even like I even put something in his nose. I'm like, how does that have to do something over here? But I think one crazy story other than that was the funniest one. But I think like when I was starting off as a chiropractor, I would adjust. This is not funny. I thought it was funny, but I would adjust someone who like who was against chiropractic, and everyone would say, "You have to get adjusted by Dr. Donovan. I'm telling you, it's gonna change your life." Because she was like low energy, she was like very pale, and she was on painkillers like 24/7. She was like in her 20s. It didn't make any sense. And then so her body wasn't healing at all. So that's why she's on all this stuff. So I gave her this adjustment on the floor. You know, I'm ghetto chiropractor back then. And then she was like shaking. She's like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Well, I helped you." And she's like, "I don't feel good." And then all of a sudden she walks outside and just barfs for like 5 minutes. And I was like, "Oh crap." And I was like, "I helped you." And she basically detoxed everything. And ever since then, her skin color came back and her personality changed. Not on painkillers anymore, just one adjustment. And she reached out to me and she's like, "Oh my God, you just changed my life." And now I see a chiropractor out in Marysville in Seattle. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. But when I first started, people would get crazy reactions. And I'm just like, what is this reaction? Like, what did I do to this person?
Oh, damn.
So why is she barfing? I was like, oh God. And then people start doing that over time as I work on more people. Like, it makes more sense now.
Interesting, because they're detoxing all that.
Yeah.
So you just did one adjustment.
Yeah.
And she just detoxed everything?
Yeah, it does. The adjustment it's hard to explain because you can't just be like, every person that just gets a detox.
Yeah.
That's why they can't really market on like a clinical study or whatever. But you get amazing breakthroughs with chiropractic because you're stimulating the nervous system. So like you have parasympathetic nerves up here that stimulates rest and digest mode. And you want to be in rest and digest mode to actually recover. If you're in fight or flight is when you get stressed out, have a high anxiety, and you're angry. If you're chronically stressed more than a week, your immune system turns off, you heal really slow, your digestion doesn't go all the way through. So you can't heal when you're like this. That's why emotions are so important to deal with. So when you get adjusted, it actually stimulates rest and digest mode. And that's why people get these reactions, like their blood pressure normalizes, they start barfing, they start sweating like crazy. And it's just because you're getting like the sympathetic response from the adjustment. So that's the amazing part about it. And then some people just will come in for neck and back pain, which also helps with that. The main thing, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had never heard that before.
Yeah. So I work with a lot of emotional patients that are hard to discover why they're not healing. And then I do all this kind of technical stuff to figure out like why is your body not healing? Like we need to work on your brain, we need to work on your emotions. And that's why I use like lasers and I do specific treatments on patients to help them get back into rest and digest mode so they can actually recover. And that's what I really wanted to work on mainly as a chiropractor. Because in Seattle, I had like regular neck and back patients. And like I trained myself to work on people who need help. And now I finally do in LA, and LA attracts all those high emotional people, it seems.
For sure. There's quite a few.
So your clients are mostly emotional people? Do you do like sports athletes?
Yeah, I work on everything. I work on athletes. Like I trained to do sports injuries, so I can work with athletes in that way. I trained to work on giants. So for a while in Seattle, I had the giant club. Every single patient was like this big because I was the only one who can adjust them, and I'm like way smaller. So I was going through transitions of like I'd be working on athletes, and then I'd be working on this type of patient. And now in LA, I feel like I'm talking about the universe. The universe is making me get all these patients who actually like are dying and need help. They're like, I don't know what's causing this. And then I go all out for you. I'm like, let's figure it out. And then like the other day, she just came back in like a week or two ago, and she hasn't digested in years. And she could barely, she's like constipated, she's high emotion, has trauma from the past. And she's like, my whole body's in pain. I have no motility. Like, can you fix me or something? Because the internet's telling everyone, he can fix something, he can fix this. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. But I would work on it though. But I did like this treatment where like I stimulate her vagus nerve, I work on her gut, I adjust her. And then ever since then, she told me right when she came back like a week ago, she's digested like 4 times a day, and she got so much catching up to do. And she's like waking up and digesting. She's like, wow, that's never happened in my whole entire life. So the chiropractic and understanding the patient's emotions, everything, it helps them discover like how to actually heal, so you don't have to suffer really.
Dude, that's epic. You're spreading a lot of good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of these stories are intense, but it's literally life changing.
Yeah. Like that's what I want to do. So I have high energy to take my time and work on these people rather than I'm like done.
Right.
With my martial arts.
So you crack all these people, give all these people adjustments.
Yeah.
Does anybody do it to you?
Yeah. I have to search far and wide out here. Everything's so far away. Like I get adjusted by like some other chiropractors.
Okay.
That are on social media, or some people visit me and they're like, oh my God, it's been forever. And they adjust me. They're like, please adjust me. I'm like desperate. But in Seattle, my brother also is a chiropractor. I got him into a year after me, and he used to adjust me like almost every single day, because depending on your lifestyle, like if you're adjusting people and you're jumping on your head every day, you need to get adjusted as much as possible. Yeah. So it just depends on your lifestyle. So I used to get adjusted all the time in Seattle. Over here, I get adjusted like every 2 weeks or something. And I fly back to Seattle still, and I adjust people over there too.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How often do you go back?
I'm trying to do it once a month, and I'll do a giant pop-up there for like a day, and I might do it for 2 days. But I adjust from the morning to all the way at nighttime to catch up with everybody in Seattle. And then people from Canada and Portland can come to me from there too that can't come here easily.
Do you have a team, or is it just you?
Well, sometimes Amber Lee helps me, but sometimes I have to go there by myself, and I do it by myself. But I also still work in the tax office because my aunt let me see use it.
Yeah.
No
So
way.
I have my full table, and I don't even have anything. Like I just bring my table, and that's it. And then I like just get detailed at everybody throughout the whole entire day.
So to this day, you're still in the tax office.
Yep.
That is awesome.
I'm back.
That is super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, back to the roots. I like that.
Yeah, I just started doing that recently, like 4 months ago again.
Yeah, hopping back and forth.
Yeah, because I was doing that in LA when I was in Seattle. Now I'm doing reverse, just so I can serve Seattle still.
Both markets.
And then help them too at the same time. Because I have enough energy to do this because it's fun.
Yeah, no, you're fired up on it. I can feel
Yeah.
it. I love it.
And then you're going to New York. You're gonna start one in New York too.
Oh yeah, I'm planning that one.
I gotta get that private jet.
That's a lot.
Yup.
Just do it on the private jet. Just fly people around.
Yeah, maybe later this year I actually might, because people have
Nice.
been requesting me to go out there, and there's a community out there that wants to help me out there too. So I also want to do more, like even Philippines and stuff. So
Yeah, we go to the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
Yeah, gotta have to team up on
let's
something.
party. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Have you
I'm
been to the Philippines?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't gone to the Philippines or Croatia or my culture or anything.
Yeah, you gotta go to the Philippines.
Okay.
You love it. Yeah. You
All
want to
right.
go to Croatia too, huh?
Yeah, Dubrovnik. I want to go there.
Okay, let's go
Yeah.
to Bolt. I'm just kidding.
Let's go to both. You can adjust everyone
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back in April.
Oh yeah.
Philippines. Yeah.
Okay,
so-
I'm gonna have to party out
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
it's a good time. The islands are fun.
Oh, yeah?
They're really
Okay.
fun. Yeah, so we were trying to go like twice a year, and then the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
I've only been a couple of times the last couple of years, but
Oh,
So
yeah.
do you get to travel? Are you just so busy that you can't really travel?
Well, in Seattle, I made it so I can travel every 2 weeks. And
Nice.
so I worked only 4 days in Seattle, and then I made myself have a giant weekend. So I wouldn't even work Friday till whatever day. I'm not even trying to think about what day it was, but I would be able to fly out for like 4 days and then come back to work again. But in LA, I've basically only been working about over a year. So I'm trying to be in LA as much as possible to help as much people like every day. And then once I get to that, well, I still travel, but only once a month. And then I'm trying to help people in LA for a while, and then I'll start planning some other stuff after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you always have new clients, or is it mostly returning repeat people?
I have a lot of returning, but a lot of people fly out to me every day of the week.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a lot of new people all the time. And then they'll try to stay with me for a week to work on their complicated problem. For example, I'm famous for working on coccyx, which is tailbone pain around like...
What is it called?
Tailbone pain.
Oh.
Like right here.
Okay.
You want me to work on
Coccyx?
it? I'm just kidding.
No,
But I got famous for that all over the world, and then so everyone flies to me every day for it, and my schedule is back to back, tailbone, and I didn't even expect that. I just know how to work on tailbone pain. It just started with one person, and he was basically like dying because he fell on his butt so hard, and he had to quit his jobs that had to do with sitting, which is most people's jobs. And so he was getting epidurals on there, and it wasn't even affecting him. And they're like $4,000 epidural. And then he was seeing a chiropractor and PT together 3 times a week. And then the doctor said eventually, we're just gonna have to chop it off because nothing's working, because he's not getting pain relief. So he saw me online, and I made a reaction video to like ridiculous tailbone videos from India or whatever. I'm like, this looks wild, but it actually helps you. And he goes, I knew you were the one. It's like, I'm not even performing it in the video. I'm just educating people for options. So he drove all the way to me, suffering from Arizona, and he had tailbone pain for 6 months. And he said he was like crying, and it was like so painful. And he's like, I knew you'd be able to do this. Like, I didn't say I was gonna do it. So I knew how to work on it. So I ended up working on him, and I was like, hey, you want to make an educational video? Because I ended up adjusting it, and he got relief immediately for the first time in 6 months.
Wow.
And he said, you want to make educational videos? Like, I don't want to show my face because this is like kind of a weird video, right? And I was like, how about we just don't show your face and just tell people that they can get treatment for their tailbone? He goes, deal. So we made a video, goes viral, and then he was so happy that he got tailbone relief in one visit that he wanted to tell the world that he was the one in the video. So he responds to all 1,000 comments.
Wow.
They get 2,000 comments, and then and so everybody was talking about it. And then he came back to drive again for one more treatment, and he made a testimonial showing his face, and it went viral. So everybody started flying in for tailbone. So I've been working on tailbone pain like every day. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's back to back. It's like ridiculous. And I didn't even want to even work on that, but then I know how to work on it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what happened with that.
And just like your pop-ups in the LA practice, is it just you?
Yeah.
Do you have like assistants or who?
Yeah, Amberly's my assistant.
Oh, okay, cool.
But when I was working in Seattle, I was working with my brother, but I did all the flying and pop-ups by myself. Like, I did everything by myself. I would travel everywhere by myself with my table, everywhere. I was acting like I was a ghetto chiropractor, even though I had a business in Seattle.
That's it.
Yeah, but I thought it was fun, so I didn't really mind.
So
Yeah.
is it something that only you can do, or is it just you enjoy it so much that you just want to do it?
Like, anyone can do it. It just depends on the mindset. Like, even in any profession, like if you want to seem like you are making an impact, or you're the best, or you really enjoy it, you have to have that mindset that you're going to go all in, and it's your purpose. If it's not your purpose and it's just a hobby, it's kind of hard to have the energy to do it. To like, if you want to tell yourself like, I want to be big online and make an impact, but is it really your purpose to do whatever you're doing to make an impact? If it's just a hobby, or you're 50% about it, that's not going to happen. So it's hard. It's tough. It's emotions and everything.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And I think also too, especially for young people watching or any age, if you've done something for so long, you're good at it, but you feel like your purpose is something else, you have time, right? Like you were a dancer, you moved to the Bay Area, then to Seattle, you're here. I just think it's really cool when you just put time into something, manifest it, go after it. Like you said, 100%. Things can happen.
Yeah, I was trying not even go to school. I wanted to just be a breakdancing machine.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about having a career or making money. But then when I became homeless, that's when I was like, Actually, it's important. I'm gonna start making money. Actually.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so you still breakdance?
Yeah, I still breakdance.
Okay.
For a while, I stopped because being a good chiropractor was so hard for me. So I had to like take a break from b-boying, and then later when I came here, they appreciate b-boying a lot, and I'm like, what? Everyone still loves this over here? Because the other place I go to, they don't appreciate that much, in my opinion. So I started making a community out here and making really good friends, and now I break dance every day. And even though I just hurt my knee the other day, but I just fixed it just
nice.
recently. But
All right, good.
but
Back.
I battled just recently for the first time since 2012. So it's really weird. So
It's a big break.
Nice.
yeah. So it's important to me still, because that's what crafted my whole life, was the b-boying, literally.
So you battle people and then you adjust them after.
Yeah, I was
After
like,
you
no
do
hard
it.
feelings.
Yeah, that's
love
really
it.
cool. That's really cool.
So New York, Seattle, the Bay Area, anywhere else other than the Philippines you're traveling to this year?
I think those are ones I kind of focus on, but I'm sensing there's going to be like 2 other places, and I like to surprise myself. So I just say the universe is going to take me to a surprise. I like to have surprises, and I like to have a vision of something that's definitely going to happen. So I like a little bit of both.
Nice.
I like that.
Nice.
I like that. And then as far as being in LA, can you see yourself here for a while, you think?
Oh yeah, I love it here.
Love it.
I like the struggle out here. I like the diversity out here. I like how people are trying their hardest to get where they want to be, even though it's really hard for a lot of people. So I like being around people who are trying to go for their dream, even if they're at this place that is really stressful or whatever, because I can kind of relate to people.
You've been through that.
Yeah, so I like being around that community. Rather than I'm in Seattle, it's kind of a retirement area. Like everyone's just chill and like, let's just chill. And then like, it's just too chill for me. chill.
Yeah.
That's why I had to get out of my hometown for
Yeah.
sure. So, I feel that. I
Yeah.
feel that. So wow.
Do you have any other big plans for 2024, either personal or business?
For 2024, I think I always go through this thing where like, there's this big thing happening, but it's like a surprise to me. But for 2024, I think I'm gonna work on maybe creating different avenues that help people, and also it would benefit me too, which is like make another business or something. And I have the energy to do it because it helps people, but it also helps me, because you can't help anyone if you can't help yourself. So there has to be a balance to make an impact. So I'm trying to develop like different ways to help people, but also benefit me at the same time. Like teach people how to manifest, or educate people online and all this other stuff. So I'm developing these things right now. I'm writing my diary.
I like it.
But also travel more. So like there's kind of a list. Like you have to do your to-do list, which is your wish list basically, and make them all come true. So that's the gist I can give you, because it's going to be a surprise later.
I like it. Well, you heard it here first. The surprise is coming, 2024.
Surprise is coming. It better come then.
Right? Right? Hey, you're manifesting. You're saying it out
Yeah.
loud, right? It's
Yeah,
coming.
it's already happening.
It's happening. With that being said, man, we've had a blast with you. Where can people find you, learn more about you, etc.?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Donovan Smolich. I got TikTok, Dr. Donovan, and YouTube, Dr. Donovan. And I have my clinic called Full Function. It's in Burbank. So if you guys want to pay a visit and get educated and change your life, you can come by. And yeah.
I love it.
Nice.
I'm definitely going to come by, 100%. Yeah. So,
And this guy too.
yeah. and
I
got-
don't know about
scared.
that. I'm
This guy,
scared.
got this guy.
I'll pull his head off
Yeah.
for his experience.
Right? Hey, it'll go viral. It'll go viral.
I thought you wanted to get adjusted.
I don't know. Are we?
Do you want me to do it in front of that mic?
Yeah. Wait, you don't need a cable or anything? Or how does it work?
I can give you a good adjustment for your neck if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do
Are
it.
we doing this?
Yep.
I'll give you one adjustment. How about that?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're down.
First one's
Hold
free.
on.
Okay.
let's-
So you can sit right there, and I'm gonna test. I'm gonna muscle test one arm, and I'm just gonna see what's going on.
Okay. So it's funny enough, I got a stiff neck the other day for the first time forever.
Oh,
when
really?
Debbie was here. I think I stood up for too long. in
Oh,
a
really?
certain way.
So straighten out this arm.
Okay.
And then push up as hard as you can. And then straighten out as best you can. Push up right here. I feel like you need an adjustment on your shoulder. Let's see. Gotta do this while we're standing up, ghetto style.
Yeah.
And then straighten out this arm. Push up as hard as you can. So you know it's stronger? I just pushed on your arm. Like I just did this. So I'm adding mobility and stimulating your back to stabilize it. But if I adjusted it, it'll hold longer because I'm adjusting your ribs.
Wow.
So straighten this out. So it's really strong, right? Remember I was pushing it down?
Yeah.
So push up as hard as you can. I'm just gonna turn it off. You notice?
Whoa. We got magician too? What was that? All right, hold on. All right.
And I also entertain people.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a stress test. So I'm gonna touch right here, right here. You notice it just turns off when I touch that. And straighten this out. And I'm gonna touch right here. It's strong, right?
Yeah.
And then over here it's tense. It just turns off your body, you notice?
Yeah.
So that's the main joint that we're gonna adjust, and then we're gonna retest it. And you even test your eyes. So like straighten out this arm, look over your eyes, push up, and over here. You notice it just turns off. So this is a balance test. So we're gonna adjust right here. Okay, let's see. Take off my clothes real quick.
Yeah. You sure this is a good spot? Is this cool? All right.
Maybe if you sat on
It's like a chair?
this table right here.
Yeah, is this stable? Yeah, this works. All right, we want the mics, right? To hear this?
Okay, this table will collapse at the same time I adjust you. Okay, turn your head this way. Okay. We do this ghetto style. That's why they call me the ghetto chiropractor. Okay. Go like that. And then shoulder down. And then drop your head. Okay. Drop the shoulder.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. It's just like in the Instagram videos. Oh my gosh.
It's live.
That's wild. It really worked.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. Remember that test we just did?
Yeah.
So let's see. Straighten out this arm. Look over here with your eyes.
Sorry, which one?
Look over here with your eyes. Remember, it's way stronger. And I touch over here and over here. And I can turn it off.
That's crazy, bro.
There you go. Your first occipital lift.
Wild. Well, if you like what you just saw, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and
Smash the bell.
smash the bell. And be sure to follow Donovan. Go pay him a visit. Fly in. I'm going to be flying into Burbank every day. This is wild. Thank you so much for being here, man. Keep spreading good. Spread good, baby. Oh.